Nika, you notice Desmond turning and shaking and mumbling to himself and sweating profusely, just in his sleep.
Desmond? Desmond,
Yeah. Yeah.
are you okay?
No. Where are we? Where's this place? I was, felt like a nightmare. And I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Nika, as you look him over as he sits up, you notice his shirt is covered in blood.
Desmond. And she'll try and touch his shirt. This is not how you fell asleep.
It really isn't, and I think I'm done with waking up covered in blood and not knowing how it got there. This is not a thing I wanted to become used to.
What did you dream of?
If you can think it, it was there. It's like we had just got done talking in the woods, and a voice, and then Armand, and then suffice it to say that I'm just glad that I'm not there anymore, because that was not normal.
Well, if this is not normal, I'm worried if that's your blood or others. Less others, more yours.
I don't feel any
Just
wounds,
check.
So,
Desmond, as you run your hand over your shirt, you are, of course, immediately aware of the fact that the smell of this blood is absolutely yours. And a voice echoes in your ear. Just glad father didn't live long enough to see the disgrace you've become, and hate in your brother's eyes.
I've never heard Armand that upset, that enraged.
From your dream?
Yeah. And yes, this is mine. This is blood.
But no wounds.
Doesn't feel like it. I hate this place. This waking up covered in blood. At least I can talk to you this time.
Well, that's true. I mean, I can't be of much more help than waking you from the bad dream, but it's something.
You are the most help. And coming from that nightmare, the most welcoming sight I could imagine. So thank you for waking me.
Of course. Wait, were the others in the dream with you?
Yes. Were they all moving like I was?
A little bit, but...
As you look around, you see very slightly Brother Uriah tossing and turning. Tatiana has grabbed a nearby tree and uprooted it, wrestling with it. And Finn is actually nowhere to be seen. You're not sure where she was sleeping. She fell asleep fairly close to you, but you're not sure where she got off to. And both Nahara and Valentine are laying on the ground with their eyes closed, as if asleep, which is something that neither of them usually do.
feel like whatever it was, it affected all of us.
That's one hell of a dream.
I don't think it was.
That's my concern. We need to wake them, Desmond. We can't leave them sleeping like that.
All right. Time to do it. Then he goes to walk toward Brother Uriah in the hopes of waking him, because he feels like he's the nearest person.
And with that, hello and welcome to Black Dice Society, episode 25. As I get our beautiful cast on the screen for you, Take Me Out of This Dull World. As always, Ravenloft is a horror stream. The events that we're referring to was to our Patreon exclusive bonus game that we just filmed, where our intrepid heroes went into the nightmare lands and saw a lot. That episode is up on our Patreon and free to all patrons of any tier. It's our way of saying thank you for helping us hit our most recent goal, patreon.com/The Black Dice Society. I feel especially like I have to give the disclaimer now, especially relative to that episode, that this is a horror story. And as such, content that can be disturbing comes up. I'm aware of the cast lines and veils. We have a safety system in place that if something goes wrong or if somebody's uncomfortable, we stop, we switch, we adjust as necessary. So sometimes there might be scenes that shift mid-scene, and it may just be because somebody was not feeling comfortable, because obviously, no matter how far we push it, the most important thing is the comfort of the people at the table. That's the only way we can explore this kind of stuff together, is to explore it safely. The good news is, very small spoiler alert, because after 25 episodes, I know you all know me and are wary, tonight's episode should be a lot less terrible. So we got that going for us. Before we continue, let us meet our heroes, beginning with those who we've already seen in our returning lovely guest star, V.
Hey everyone, I am the Muse. You can find me pretty much everywhere as the Muse, and you can also check out my YouTube channel, The Crafting Muse. Tonight I am playing Nika Naprstayanka, and she is the Eladrin Druid, and also a ghost.
Also a ghost, as one
and our
does.
pronouns are she and her.
Mm-hmm. DJ.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. I am playing Desmond, your human ranger lycanthrope. And he's just a fan of, lycanthropy things. Also, Nika is in his sword.
I mean, which very nearly got broken.
This is true. In a dream. But also, you can find me pretty much everywhere at DJ Knight. And our pronouns are he, him.
I just like to say I watched a documentary called A Nightmare on Elm Street that proved pretty conclusively that bad things can still happen while you're asleep. Apparently they made a number of them all around this central idea. Sage.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan, but tonight I am playing Valentine. Valentine is reborn aberrant mind sorcerer. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Becca.
Hi, I'm Becca Scott. You can find me at the Becca Scott, or you can find my videos on YouTube at Good Times Society. But here I'm Tatiana, Air Genasi, Barbarian, Bear Totem, Barbarian, and Circle of the Moon Druid. Isn't it?
Tanya.
Hello, I'm Tanya. I am known as Cypher TR around the internets. You can find me there. Also, my own channel doing other fun stuff that Dave's involved with. He follows me everywhere, or I follow him, either way. And tonight I am Finn, your draw dump here blood hunter, with a little bit of the beast in her. And she, her.
Oh. Nora.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim. You could find me everywhere on the internet at Noralogical. And my pronouns, as well as my character's pronouns, are she, her. And tonight I play Nahara, who is a reborn Fallen Azamar undead bardlock.
And last but certainly not least, Mark.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of the Grave and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
I would be remiss if I did not mention that last week we also posted another of our Society Adventure Journals with Nahara, where she got a visitor from here in the Feywild and perhaps got some answers that she's been seeking, but maybe got left with just as many questions, which is also up on our Patreon. Before we dive back in, as always, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Die Hard Dice. Again, I believe all of the character palettes are sold out, but we do have our Black Dice Society set, which is this dope black and gold. And you can just use code BDS to get 10% off all the other amazing things that they have there on Die Hard Dice. Spoiler alert, maybe we got some other things in the works. Who can say? Me, I can say. Our TeePublic store is live. Again, we have shirts, mugs, bags, masks. As those of you know that I go everywhere rocking my Black Dice Society mask when we go out. Check that out. Link should be appearing here in chat. Secret Lab chairs, of course. I love mine. Spend more time here than anywhere but my bed. Links coming up there as well. Idle Champions should have the code ready. Should be appearing in chat if you hit exclam code. Fingers crossed to all of us. For some reason it doesn't. We'll post it separately. And that reminds me, I need to go ahead and make sure that it works next week. So y'all pray for me that I said right now I would do it. And then next week I put the odds at 50-50 whether or not I did it. But I'm going to try. As always, thank you to Beetle and Grimm's for their support. They sent us these incredible Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft boxes. A lot of the props that you will see us pulling out, like Nahara's Taroka deck, her Spirit planchette, all came out of the Curse of Strahd box or the Van Richten's box. Super great. Thanks to Beetle and Grimm's there. We still have a few more of our prints. Our museum quality prints that are very shiny and reflective of Adam Schupert's art for Black Dice Society. A portion of the proceeds of every one of these goes to world builders to help ending global hunger. So you can have something dope and do something good in the world. I already mentioned our Patreon. One thing I don't talk about too often is we do have a Discord. We're on all the socials, but maybe join our Discord. Come talk to people. You can join the community and theory craft about what the heck is going on and what even am I doing. And I'm telling you, I planted a lot of seeds in this one. So much so, in the Patreon bonus episode, I literally planted seeds for stuff that is not going to come out for like 2 years. Already set up in that episode. So you're going to be able to come back and be like, but I digress. And with that, let us dive headlong into the Witchlight Carnival. Brother Uriah, you hear Desmond's voice like from a long distance, calling your name, trying to wake you up.
Desmond? Is that you?
It is.
Where?
We are no longer there.
Where we were? Where, did you? It was horrible. It was that old familiar feeling of dread was back, but worse than ever. But now, we're all right, aren't we?
I think as all right as we can be, especially in this place.
Yes. Yes. I think we're going to be fine, but it was more than a dream. It was so real.
Oh, my shirt agrees.
Brother Uriah, you see Desmond is covered in blood, and you vividly remember seeing him get stabbed. He seems unharmed otherwise. But
do I can ascertain this without a medicine roll? Yes.
Yeah. You saw him get impaled.
And
yeah,
no wound?
Yeah, there's no wound on his chest. Yes.
Well, that does raise a few questions. I mean, you have remarkable recuperative powers, Desmond, but clearly this blood came from somewhere, probably inside you, and that means that a lot of what we experienced. My neck seems to be more or less intact, as is my spinal cord. I'm not quite sure what to make of it all.
Yes, Brother Uriah, it does hurt to move slightly, like you've had the worst sleep of your life. But as far as you can tell, your vertebrae are intact and your neck is unbroken.
Very odd indeed.
Brother Uriah, you also notice Valentine and Nahara laying on the ground with their eyes closed as if they are asleep, which is not what they usually do.
That's... Nahara, are you all right? Nahara? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to loom. Are you all right? You were sleeping, and that's rather unusual.
Sleeping.
Yes, eyes closed and everything.
I can't. How can that be?
Well, there's a lot of unexplained things going on. But are you unhurt?
I think so. Why wouldn't I? Was I?
Well, both you and Valentine appeared to be slumbering, and in fact, Valentine, are you all right?
Yes.
You were both asleep to all appearances, and I know that's certainly not usual for you, physiologically speaking.
It isn't.
It's such a nightmare, though.
Yes, a nightmare. That's exactly what it was. A waking nightmare, a horrible, vivid nightmare.
Did you all? Did we?
Where's Fen? She was just here.
She only went to sleep.
Finn.
Yes.
You find yourself standing a few feet away from the group. You're on your feet. You hear them calling your name, and you can't shake the idea that you were just talking to someone. Like it's just right on the tip of your tongue. You're like,
Will it come to me when I see my friends?
When they start calling your name, you immediately are aware of the torment that you recently endured, of hearing Isolde's voice, of seeing your friends suffer, of your captivity, and of that strange woman that woke up and just shouted, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." Just comes through your mind in a wave of images as they're all beginning to stir nearby.
I look back and take a moment before I start walking back toward the group, all while trying to capture these moments and not lose them to that waking moment after you open your eyes. I'm also very confused as to why I'm standing up and I'm not with them.
Mm-hmm. It's clear you've walked away. Normally you don't sleepwalk. Yeah.
No. I come back and I just kind of look at all of them. I'm here, Uriah. I'm here.
Oh, thank goodness. Are you unharmed as well?
I think so. I don't normally sleepwalk, do I?
No, but
when you say that, you notice Tatiana's grunts and heavy breath from around a tree trunk. You can't see her.
Tatiana,
I got it.
Are you still asleep? It's
I'll
all right.
sneak over and I'll just like knowing fully well how to deal with like Nightmare Tatiana. I'm just going to kind of like reach over and like pat her head a little bit, knowing how to be in between where her fists would go.
Tatiana, you have one last vision of Soth staring at you. In those glowing eyes inside of his helmet aren't filled with hate. They're filled with disappointment.
No.
And then you're back.
I will destroy you, Valentine. Okay. You're okay. I embrace her as tightly as I can, and I lift her up, and I don't let go. I grip back onto Tatiana. It was just a dream.
No, you're so real. It was so real.
You're okay. You're here. I'm sorry.
Your neck, it is fine? Just the one scar?
Just the one scar. Yes.
Oh, I check underneath the pearls.
You all see Nika standing there, translucent, like she's made out of moonlight, standing next to Desmond, looking at you all, at you, Tatiana and Valentine, especially watching this scene unfold.
Oh, and Nika, you're here too. And I rush to hug her. How are you doing that? Every time.
Ever so often I can... Desmond was in distress. I had to come out.
Yes, I think we were all somewhat in distress, if everyone's experiences mirrored my own.
Thank you.
My biggest concern right now is Desmond is covered in blood. What about the rest of you?
Well, I think I'm unhurt, physically.
Well, Tatiana just checked my neck.
Any
Yes.
evidence of anything else having happened to you besides just blood or anything? Is anything missing? Is anything broken?
Uriah and Nahara, give me perception checks with advantage.
16.
Perception with advantage, 18.
As both of you are taking this inventory and everybody seems largely unhurt, but more was freaked out than anything about the things that you all just witnessed and experienced, you notice something seems different about Finn. Something that the two of you can't put your finger on it. But
Finn, how
Yes.
how are you feeling?
Annoyed, confused. As far as I remember, I'm not given to walking around in my sleep, especially not
think I've ever
with this
seen
salt.
Sold. Oh, yes. I suppose whatever was tormenting us, well, they went after what we most feared.
Oh, maybe I was the only one that saw it. It tormented me with her death.
I'm so sorry, but I think what we experienced was some sort of phantasm. What we feared most, as I said, I'm sure she's fine, but there's something. Do you feel in any way different?
I stare at myself. I mean, do you notice anything different?
Yes, there's
Right.
something very intangible.
I'm not sure what it is, but yes. Other than I've never seen you sleepwalk before, but
I
that's
don't
not
remember it.
quite it.
Yes, but I mean, I've never seen Fen sleepwalk, but I've never seen you or Valentine sleep, and that's exactly what you seem to be doing.
Yes.
Clearly, we were put under some kind of spell. We didn't naturally fall asleep. Something
but that's
intentionally did this to
odd.
us.
But Desmond is. We saw
Covered in
Desmond.
blood.
Yeah, that happened.
Yes, but no wound. No
I mean,
permanent injury in any case.
Is it just blood, or
I'm
is it?
still ripped right in the abdominal region, as you can see. So
That
no
that
worries
is
there.
true. Your core has been restored, Desmond.
Oh yes, you're not squishy like you were.
Nope. Everything is as it should be.
Tatiana, how about you? How was your abdominal
Squishy.
region?
No.
That's right. The squishy was the worst thing that ever has happened. I mean, not the worst thing. It was a pretty bad thing.
But you're all right now. You're back to normal for you.
Ripped as
God.
always, Tatiana.
Here, touch this. Touch these apps.
All right. Yes,
Right?
they're quite hard.
Ooh.
Yes, very very firm. Is it over then? Do we have to worry about this the next time we fall asleep?
I hope not. But
You
I'm so glad you're all right.
all hear a voice from what sounds like somewhere off in the distance. You made it back. Yeah. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Yay. Right.
The dragon. Mongota, is that you?
Yes. It's your old friend Mongota. Yes.
You're
Wait,
real.
What are
wait.
you doing here?
It's very difficult to reach you all when you're not sleeping. Well, so good news and not good news.
Right.
Good news, you're probably not going to be tormented in your sleep for a while.
Okay, that's.
How are you
Meanwhile-
speaking
While, how
to
do you-
us? Why do we hear you?
I mean, I'm a creature of the Feywild. Remember, I can. It's hard. I travel in dreams, Tatiana. I've told you this so many times. Wait, you don't.
But I'm not dreaming.
No, we haven't. I haven't told you this so many times yet. Right.
Oh yes, the whole non-linear memory
I
thing. Yes.
experience time non-linearly. Yes.
Right. Yes. I do. We have discussed this particular point at least a
Right.
few times.
I just.
What is the not so good news that you mentioned?
The Nightmare King and Ghost Dancer and the rest of them seem really cross that you all escaped. That wasn't what they wanted. So
Good.
yeah, they're awful. So I'm gonna protect you guys as long as I can, though. So sleep tight for a while, probably.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
Perhaps they are not as scary as they seem. If
that
we
is
could
also-
defeat them.
Sleep tight. Not an easy command here.
well, you hang on, and you all hear a faint whooshing noise, and the trees rustle slightly, and the moonlight breaks through in a clearing, and leaves sort of billow up. In Voronika, you see something absolutely astonishing. The rest of you see something right out of your dreams, that the outline of a very large dragon appears. It is fairly thin and angular. It's beautiful. It has one horn that curves upwards on the head, and on the back that curves as well, that gives it like a crescent moon shape around it. And you all see Mongota begin to coalesce slightly and look down at her claws for a moment and say, friends, hi. Thank you. You saved my babies. Mostly. That's three of them. Three of them are great. The fourth one, I'm not sure. But
Yes. What was the anomaly that I detected? They didn't register as Fey any longer.
when I told you this, you got really upset. So I figured maybe not now. 'Cause you guys have earned sort of a break, I think. So good news. The carnival that you're going to goes great. It takes a little time to let your hair down. Not Tatiana, her hair starts down, but the rest of you, but you really have a ball at the Witchlight Carnival, and I just want you to know that I kind of realize some objectively terrible stuff has happened, and quite frankly is going to happen again. But maybe you've earned a night off. Yay!
Oh, all right then. All right, I have a question for you. Since we've been friends, not quite yet, but we have
so long. Yes, so long. Uh-huh.
And you say we deserve a break, right?
Yeah.
Which I very much agree with you. So because of the whole time thing that you do, this will in fact be fine.
You will find, and this large dragon head comes down, and it's somewhat off-putting, Nahara, because you can see straight through it. It's a conglomeration of leaves and moonlight and dust, vaguely dragon-shaped. I am many things, Nahara, but I am not a liar. Tonight, the carnival goes great. You won't. She leans in and she's like, even Valentine told me how much fun she has. Wait, I'm not supposed to tell you that she said that. Valentine did not. You didn't say anything good about the carnival. You didn't say anything good. You say anything good. But
right.
Just try. This is an unbearable Desmond.
Yes.
Desmond. Did you know there is a woman made out of moonlight standing next to you?
Yes, it's Nika. Nika, Mongota, Nika.
Nice to meet you. Normally, I'm in his sword.
Yep.
Nika. That's Nika? And he vanishes. She vanishes.
Oh.
Did we offend her?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. If we have offended her, we might not do it for a while because of the non-linear nature of her memory.
That is a good point. I don't know how this works, but that is part of it. Yes.
So this is a future problem.
Perhaps, but
Or maybe a past problem. I don't know.
Or maybe not a problem.
She said the carnival, yes? Witchlight, did she call it?
Different carnival. There are many carnivals in our life, it seems.
Yes. This one has a rather ominous-sounding name, yet apparently is a place of safety.
Right.
I don't trust
now,
it.
for Mongota, if she were to see a carnival when we saw it and then see another one, it would probably seem a very long time away.
Right.
So maybe it's not strange that we see so many carnivals.
I think Mongota would have told us if there was going to be something dangerous.
Yes.
Or unpleasant.
I don't begin to impose that I understand how time works, but to simply believe anything that Mongota predicts is to believe that time is entirely fixed and that we couldn't inherently screw it up and change the entire timeline and therefore the result they've experienced.
Well,
I
you
suppose
can
it
believe what
depends
you
on
want.
what the concept of free will does into it. But Mongota is the one who saved us. I trust her, I think.
And regardless of whether it does or it doesn't, I very much want to believe.
Regardless of time and free will and whatever things you want to discuss, it is way above my head. I would like food. And I think a carnival will have very good foods.
Oh, yes, lots of good food, but it will all be served on a stick. That is the carnival way.
Food on
This
stick.
part.
A lot of it deep fried.
Go on.
Oh.
You said deep fried foods? Or I believe I heard deep fried foods.
I will race you, Desmond. 1, 2, 3.
And Desmond's already gone. The second she says 1, 2, and he's
Wait!
floating.
I suppose we're on our way to the carnival then. The
Well, you said
Witchlight.
the magic word.
As you all travel, again, here through the Feywild, it is a gorgeous night with no full moon. Desmond, as you recall, the change was coming upon you before Mongota's intervention, and now the stars are a sparkling tapestry overhead as you all move through the woods. It is a beautiful night. The trees are large and welcoming. Again, there's fruit of all manner and variety hanging off the branches. And as you continue moving through the night, you travel completely unimpeded until you arrive in a clearing, to which I realized there was one thing I did not say at the beginning. I would be remiss to mention the Witchlight Carnival. The Wild Beyond the Witchlight is available now. Thank you to Watsy for sending this to us here. So no spoilers in chat if you already have the book about what's going on, by the way. Not everybody does. You come upon a clearing. And as you all might recall, you saw at one point the wagons go hurtling overhead. You saw them pulled by horses with butterfly wings, foxes the size of horses that also had wings, pulling these wagons through the sky overhead near Madrick Rosloff's home before you all departed. And now as you arrive, there is you see this clearing with tents being put up. You see wagons that very much match the descriptions of the ones that you saw overhead. And each of you are immediately struck by the very powerful sensation that you have been here before. You know this carnival. You have seen it.
Is everyone else having a very powerful sensation of, how do they say in Dimension deja vu?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Desmond,
granted, if
who
I,
won?
if I,
You only got here just now?
No, I just before we it's
okay.
It also seems familiar to me, this carnival.
it does. If I've been here before, I absolutely don't remember it, nor would I, but like, feels like it.
Yes. Very strange. I mean, we of course have been spending an inordinate amount of time at another carnival, so I suppose there's some similarities, but yes, I've been here before.
Maybe let's wander around and see if we suddenly really know the lay of the land.
Yes.
Again, you all have spent enough time at the carnival, you especially, Finn, to by now you realize it's still nighttime, which is odd because you don't know how long you slept. You don't know how long you've traveled. It becomes very difficult to keep track of such things here in the Feywild. But it clearly is being set up currently. Like, you all know when posts are being pulled, tents are being propped up. It very much seems like whatever is happening is just starting. And you do see a sign that says tickets.
And Fred actually pats her pockets. Is that part of that weird dream? I thought we had tickets.
You don't have tickets to this carnival.
But we have tickets to the other carnival.
You have tickets to the other carnival.
I walk up to the booth. Hello?
I will just say one quick thing. Both Finn and Valentine, when you entered into Isolde's memory, you absolutely saw this place. You saw this place and you saw the proprietors of this place, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. When you saw it in Isolde's memory, you did not have this sense of familiarity. You were like, well, I mean, it's a carnival, clearly. You know, that's a thing that happened. But now that you're actually at it, a separate feeling of familiarity and you have been here before is very much going through both of your minds.
Valentine.
Yeah,
This seems too familiar, doesn't it?
it does. I don't know how to explain it because I can't remember any occasion other than the dream, other than in a soul's mind.
Same.
Hold on. No. The pixies.
What pixies?
I look around for Thimble.
You look a couple of times and he's not there, and when you continue looking, he is. He's just on your shoulder. Like he wasn't there. You look away and he's there. And he's crunching on a piece of peppermint. Like, hello.
I've been here before.
Yeah, you have. You all have.
With you?
He sort of runs his fingers through his silvery platinum blonde hair, and he's like, we had a lot of fun here. Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to get the memory of it back?
He sort of like looks both ways, and he kind of leans in a little closer to you, and he's like, remember when I told you there's a lot of ways to pay for things here?
Yeah, that's how we paid for our ticket.
Memories are a certain currency, especially the joy of children. Imagine if you could bottle that feeling. Well, I mean, some of the people in here can. Not always bad, of course. It's not always a trick. It is, quite a joy to be able to relive that bliss. But there's some people here that aren't making good deals, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'll keep an eye on you, though. Nobody messes with Thimble.
Thank you. And I don't remember it, but I was here as a child, and I think all of us were. So
I grew up in the Underdark. I don't remember being at this carnival.
You do, however, Finn, have a distinct memory of being at a carnival and Zybilna coming up to you when you were a little girl. It exists completely out of context. There is just a glimpse of you being in a carnival and Zybilna coming up to you and offering you some cupcakes to eat and enjoying it. But how you got there or what happened afterwards is not there.
That memory. Friend kind of dismissed it as, yeah, okay. That's weird. I'm putting that in the mental drawer. I don't know where that came from, and I don't believe it.
Nika, give me a wisdom check. Not a save, a check. You are not being harmed.
16.
Nika, obviously your existence now is complicated at best. And even in your previous life, there were many aspects of your existence that were not your own. But as you look upon this place now, you have a distinct memory of being a very little girl and walking with your grandmother across a fairground. And you see a radiant, tall woman with long blonde hair and flowing blue gown that comes up to your grandmother and says, "Oh, who is this young beauty?" And she kneels down and looks you in the eye, and you your hair starts to stand on end like it's being exposed to static. Like your curly locks actually like raise slightly when she leans down and looks at you and smiles. What's your name, darling?
Veronica.
Veronica, my name is Zabilna. Would you like to be my friend?
You have a very pretty dress.
When she just, oh, this old thing, would you like a pretty dress too? And you find your grandmother squeezes your hand slightly and says, I tend to all of Nika's needs, Zabilna. And she does give her a slight curtsy. And you see Zabilna stands up and says, well, I would love to help take care of her needs as well. Surely there must be something I can offer young Nika. She's so beautiful, and she does run her fingers through your hair. I know there must be toys or gowns or leadership lessons. She's going to be an important person to our people someday. She must be properly prepared. And your grandmother squeezes your hand again, Nika, and says, I assure you, our house is more than capable of preparing young Veronica for what is to come. And Zabilna looks at you again, and this time the smile slightly fades. Her face is still smiling, but her eyes aren't anymore. Do you feel like that's true, child? Do you feel prepared for what is to come?
And she's looking between her grandmother and Zabilna. I appreciate your offer very, very much. It's very kind of you to be so giving, but my grandmother and my mother and my father are making sure I know how to be a proper lady of Koshmar.
You see she stands up and sort of straightens out her gown and she says, you've taught the child well. No bargain has been entered into. But, Nika, if I might offer you one truly free piece of advice. Don't fall into the trap of being a proper lady. It's overrated. And you are just sort of standing back. Here, Nika, just like the sort of daydream passes over you.
Well, I've definitely been here.
So we've all been here.
Just a clarification, B-Dave. Now, Uriah, does he actually remember being at the carnival, or just Zabilna inviting him there and not going?
You only remember that specific snippet of Zabilna coming to Rivalis and offering to take you, and you feel like you have been here, but you have no specific recollection of, like, I was here, I played these games, I ate this cotton candy. Yeah. Those of you that specifically remember being here, Desmond remembers being here with Armand. Finn remembers being here. Valentine, Thimble has told you you've been here, but you didn't remember it. Tatiana, you remember Zabilna coming and talking to Jibaku. Nahara, you remember Zabilna coming and returning your lost pet to you. But the rest of it, and now, of course, Veronica remembers very specifically your grandmother bringing you here. But that's it in terms of the tangible memories. The rest of it is a feeling.
So the cat memory as a child was it outside of the carnival?
Yes, it was. It was in what you can realize as you've sort of tumbled this around in your mind, somewhere in the Dread Domains. This place is luscious and green and beautiful. The place that you remember seeing Zabilna was gray and drab with no leaves on the trees.
But it had something to do with Zabilna.
I met Zabilna when I was a child.
I think we all did. Nahara, Fen, tell me, do you feel that feeling of dread, the one that we've all been so accustomed to for all our time in the mists? It seems, in my case, to have left me again. It came back when we were in the clutches of the Nightmare King, but now, even though this seems rather ominous, perhaps even suspicious, I feel lighter, as I did when we first came to the Feywild.
No, I'm still kind of not liking the Feywild.
I still feel that welcoming feeling.
Yes.
Although it was strange because my memories of that I can attach to this place, it didn't seem like it was here. It was the carnival. But it certainly wasn't in this beautiful place.
Yes, well, like our carnival, it seems to move around, like any carnival, I suppose.
Of course.
Yes. Still, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think we're safe here, or at least not in immediate danger.
I think so. And I take a closer look at Uriah's eyes to see if they changed at all.
Oh, are they doing that thing again?
No? No.
That's a bit of a relief.
It is a relief.
From what our dragon friend said, all that bit about letting down one's hair, I think I'd like to take advantage of the fact that I seem to be out of the clutches of Darkon's king, Aslan Rex. I think I'd like to try to enjoy myself here.
It seems like it's been far too long since any of us have had any moment of enjoyment.
Nara, can I ask you, what would you like to do here at the carnival? Would you like to play some games, or well, probably not food, but see a show? What would you like if you could do anything here?
I don't know. I want to see it all. What is your favorite thing at a carnival?
Not being devoured by a monster. That was very high on the list
Yes.
when I was a child.
Mhm.
But well, perhaps we could see what sort of entertainment they have.
I would love that. And if we do come across some sort of tent full of oddities, I will be sure to not take anything back with me.
Oh yes, yeah. Stuart's
didn't work out
still
so
here,
well.
isn't he? He's tucked away somewhere. Well, and Brother Uriah sort of offers Nahara his arm. I suppose
Take his arm.
Yes, I suppose this is date.
All right.
Yes, let's say that it is.
Should we go get tickets?
Yeah. Oh yes, that's probably the first order of business.
And what part of that do you fear? Mm-hmm. Well, I think I can handle it myself, and Tatiana is here, as well as the rest of the bunch.
Sorry, everyone. I was muted during all of that. Let me give that to you again. I was OBS muted, not Zoom muted. Valentine. You hear Tregram pop up in your mind there, and again, it sounds like he's talking to you from some great distance, as what you've encountered here in the Feywild. Like, it's harder for him to reach you. Our reluctant hero, Uriah, does bring up an interesting point. Both Stuart and some of our other agents had long since infiltrated the other carnival. Here, our resources are far more limited.
And why does that make you fearful?
I exist only to serve you and preserve your well-being. Should you be in danger, my options will be regrettably limited.
I mean, if they didn't kill me here alone as a small, weak child when it would have been smart to do, then it would be wild for them to do it now. Especially when there are people here that can see the future.
You are, of course, both wise and brave, Valentine. Might I pose a question to you? Something has been troubling me.
You may.
This place just seems so good. It's so bright and colorful, and everyone seems so happy. Isn't it awful?
Yes. Yes, it is. And I do not belong here, and I'll just kind of like gesture to look out at like Tatiana and Nahara and Brother Uriah having a good time. They like it.
Well, I will, of course, endeavor to be keeping an eye out for, what is the saying? What's the catch? There's something. I know it. I can feel it in my, well, I would say bones if I had any. I just know there's something that they're hiding here, and I will uncover it for you.
Good luck with that. Do let me know how it goes, and I will keep my guard up, because I mean, they're making deals to steal memories. They're not quite as cotton candy and rainbows as they pretend to be.
Well, forgive me if it is not my place to say, but I suppose if you were to have to, act as if you were enjoying yourself to convince everyone else, of course, that would be within your right, I think.
Are you telling me to go have fun?
No,
Is this a vicarious thing? Is it because if I get to go on like a ride or something, you get to go?
Oh, I can't hear you, Valentine. The connection is... And he stops talking.
It's not how any of this works. I'm fairly certain.
As you all approach the ticket booth, a silver statue of a dancing fairy is mounted on the roof of the ticket booth and surrounded by fluttering butterflies. The booth is decorated with an animated depiction of the night sky and shooting stars arcing across it. An elderly goblin perches behind the ticket counter, peering at you quizzically through a spyglass. He lowers the spyglass and calls out to you, "Greetings, fair fairgoers."
Hello.
Hello? We are interested in tickets.
Yes.
I don't know if you have different prices for different types of beings. I am Air Genasi. Some of us fly. We have a moonlit ghost woman, but she can be inside a sword, so I don't know if it's a half-price ticket.
He puts this horn that looks like it's maybe fashioned after a ram's horn. It sort of tilts it towards you and says, "Huh? Half-priced?"
I said that we have lots of different types of creatures here. Perhaps there's different pricing that. And she says the whole thing again.
He can fit in a sword. Does not take up space.
We've already got a sword swallower. Don't
Tatiana.
need another one of those. I mean,
Tatiana, we've talked about oversharing.
it's well, what are you all offering to trade to gain entrance into the old carnival? And then with the other hand, he holds up the spyglass, so his one goblin eye is like gigantic as he like turns and points it towards all of you. He's impossibly old. He's got wrinkles on wrinkles on wrinkles sitting here.
We have maybe some gold pieces between us, although I don't have any. Or maybe you'd be interested in some pumpkin seeds. No? Oh, no, not those.
Oh, wait.
what do we have?
Pumpkin seeds
No,
you
I
don't
don't
want me
need
to
that.
have. Oh, and now I'm interested. What? Explain these pumpkin seeds to me. And, like, the spyglass is, like, in your face.
You
no.
wouldn't.
Hmm?
You wouldn't want these. They're very powerful
Stale.
magic items.
Stale
Ah!
pumpkin seeds.
Very
Awful.
stale, powerful pumpkin seeds. Go on.
Not powerful at all. No.
Hold on, can you see any better with spyglass at this distance? I thought it was for when you're on the sea.
But look at the size of you. I mean, you might as well be a league away from me to have to look up at you, madam. Yes, if I want to make eye contact, I require the use of my tools.
I am insulted and also complimented, so
That is
Carry
my
on.
brand. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you accept a Taroka deck reading instead?
We've already got soothsayers, but perhaps I might trade a Taroka deck reading for some information.
All right. As long as you're not too intrusive. Some things are very personal. No offense.
Zone of safety. I realize we've just met. You have to buy me an ale or two before I really open up.
You're funny. Yes. Well, what's different between this Taroka deck reading and from the soothsayers that are in the carnival is that the soothsayers in the carnival might charge you, whereas I will not.
Well, here's the thing, young lady. Everything is a negotiation. We may not exchange coin, but we'll still exchange something.
Right. So, do you accept my offer?
I do. One card for one question.
All right. I'm sorry. Do you have the questions, or do you want, or
I think the question is, will you give me a ticket to carnival for this Taroka? Taroka?
Will we all be admitted?
Let's see what
For
the
this,
card says about
let's
this.
see what the cards
This is
say.
delightfully meta. I love where this is headed.
Why don't you tell me when to stop?
Now, keep your hands where I can see them, young lady. I am aware of every card shark in the Feywild.
Abjurer.
Abjurer. Let's see. Ironically enough, the place I always go is down. Whoa.
Oh no!
Hold on. That's all right. I got it. Abjurer. Those guided by logic and reasoning warns of an overlooked clue or piece of information. And I can only say the Taroka deck continues to bet 1,000%. He just sort of strokes wispy hairs on his chin. And he says, Excuse me, you there. And Finn, he tilts the spyglass where he's looking right at you.
Yeah.
You come from the Underdark, don't you?
What gave it away?
I don't miss much. See? Yes, blue young lady. Is like, oh, can you see anything with this? I see she's a drow. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey, I understand that people around here give you a little bit of the weird looks here because I, too, am not necessarily of the normal Feywild ilk. We gotta stick together, I think.
What's your price?
Nothing. I'm gonna do you a solid for free. I just want you to remember that I did you a solid, because I might want a solid back sometime. What you say?
Fine. Fine, but no, not my name. Not any children. No animals.
No. I agree to your terms. And he hits a button on the desk. And in front of him, a box opens up. And inside the box are 6.5 tickets.
6.5.
Oh, half price.
Half price for the sword lady.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And I take the tickets and pass them out, and I pause it, Veronica.
Give it to Desmond. He can hang on to it for me. He has pockets. I don't.
Yeah. You are very lovely, miss. You're just sort of transparent. I don't know if you were aware of that you're... See right through
It
you.
goes with the territory. Yes,
The pockets are the reason that you can't hold it. I like that.
He does look at you and he says, I would be remiss. Actually, all of you give me perception checks.
Would my observant feat come into play here?
Yep.
That's a nat 20.
Hey.
I get advantage.
16 for me.
Okay.
That's 20.
20.
That's
Perfect.
That's
17,
a
but hard to beat a nat 20.
26.
21.
It was a perception, right?
Yes.
It was a total of 24, but a nat 20.
Few of you noticed this, but with the net 20, I'm going to dump it all out for Valentine here. You notice a couple of things. The box, the wooden box, has a silver clasp and a monogram with NM on it. The letter N and M. It's hard for me to enunciate. I am from Arkansas.
November Mike.
November Mike, yes.
Wait, Nightmare Man.
You also notice, Valentine, that these are prepaid tickets. These aren't tickets that he's just giving you. Someone has already paid for them.
I approach him.
What can I do for you, madam?
Who purchased these tickets?
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I just went around just saying willy-nilly who all did a thing they compensated me not to talk about. You have an anonymous benefactor.
I come up behind him. Wait a minute. You are going to charge us twice?
I did not, but I didn't. I didn't ask you to pay. I said, what would you trade?
Now, you've already said that someone paid you off not to tell us, so you've
Correct.
already done a poor job of keeping this secret. I'm going to cast suggestion.
Ha! Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to tell us who purchased these tickets for us.
What is
A
your
wisdom save of 14.
What is your save, D? 14? Okay, perfect. Sorry, let me just check one quick thing here myself. He just sort of looks at you for a moment. In his eyes get very big and his pupils dilate. A look you've seen 100 times, Valentine. And he just says, it was the hungry halfling. She didn't give me her name, but make sure you don't tell her that I told you.
Understood.
And then he sort of like blinks for a second and he's like, I'm not the type of person that would just spill the beans about something like that.
Of course you aren't.
No.
Respectable of you.
Yeah. You know what? Just we're getting off on the wrong foot, and I want you all to have a wonderful time here at the Witchlight Carnival. So allow me to introduce myself. You can call me Nicholas a Midnight. And he bows very deeply. You hear his bones creak literally when he does like, and he comes up, he's like, missed my stretches this morning, my morning constitutional. Whew. Yeah. If you all get into any trouble, you can find all of the Witchlight hands. They're all wearing butterfly wings. Very easy to spot. And maybe, and he sort of like looks at all of you, and he stops and he looks at you, Tatiana. He says, you all seem the sporting type. How would you all like to play a little game while you're here?
We are here for games and also food.
You can have both. Someone that is here right now is going to be declared the Witchlight Monarch.
One of us?
Someone who is here at the fair right now. You will be the king or queen or designation of your choice of the entire carnival. You'll have the run of the place. And let me tell you something, that sort of thing matters in these parts. It's whoever's the most festive, whoever has the most fun and spreads the most joy is gonna be the Witchlight Monarch. And if you don't mind me saying, you seven look a little raggedy and can probably use a night of fun and relaxation.
So we've been told.
We're on a first date.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Adorable.
Right.
Well, congratulations. Hey. Yes.
Oh, you two. Wait, I had no idea. There's something going on between you two?
Well, it's a date. It's a
Yes. No need to rush, too much into it.
Well, Desmond and the sword, of course. Valentine and I are close. But yeah, Finn and Desmond have a friendship. Beautiful. But you were this whole time. You were.
No.
Well,
Tatiana, it's just a date. Let them enjoy themselves.
Am I making it
But I
weird?
am very excited
Yes.
Just a touch.
You see, Nicholas does lean next to you, Tatiana. I mean, again, he barely comes up to your hip, and he holds up another little device that's a long tube where his lips are right next to your ear. You're making it a little weird, yeah, just a little.
It's just that it brings me joy. And I want to win the monarch.
Yeah, okay, so couple of rules, because you all seem like bruisers, and you got a beautiful woman who lives in your sword. Not gonna lie, envy you. I wish I had a beautiful woman that lived in one of my devices. I don't. You know what? Forget I said that part.
I think we know what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
We completely understand.
But 2 warnings. This is me being ominous. You see this? I'm being ominous now.
Oh, yes.
yes.
No fighting in the carnival. If you get caught being violent in the carnival, you're going to be escorted out. And we got some people. Don't let the looks deceive you. They can do some top flight escorting.
I look over to Tatiana.
And the second thing is Valentine. All of you give me insight, and you can give me insight with advantage, Valentine. Still piggybacking off of that natural 20.
Nat 20!
I've got a 23, but not natural.
Tatiana.
Boy.
Taking out my dice.
Tatiana's 20 will cover it, so this is actually perfect. Tatiana, you can tell 2 things about this goblin. He's kind of doing this bumbling grandfatherly thing, but this goblin's razor sharp. Like, he's very smart. He's all, but he's very smart. And there's something he wants to tell you, but can't. It's just like he opens like a book before you. That when he's about to tell you the second thing, you just, for whatever reason, you penetrate into the DNA of this goblin and understand him intrinsically.
Something has happened to me that has never happened before. I picked up on a subtle social cue. She thinks this all to herself. Nicholas Midnight. You are very old, yes?
I mean, I've been around the carnival circuit for a little time, yeah? Mm-hmm.
And with very old comes very wise, no?
Oh, you flatterer. Go on, keep doing it.
So you know things. You see things. You see people, like this hungry halfling you speak of.
I don't recall having mentioned a hungry halfling, but I'm sure there are halflings who are hungry in the carnival. Yeah, yeah, probably, yeah,
I'll imagine Valentine whispered to me about the hungry halfling.
yeah,
I think he said it out loud.
No, he did say it out loud.
He did say it out loud.
Okay,
I'll just
great.
make a telepathic link to Tatiana and I'll just go, hey, I don't think he knows he said it. It was magical manipulation.
That makes sense. Also, hungry halfling is like opposite of me. Anyway, so there's something you would like to say, but because you are Fey, you live in the Feywilds, there's something keeping you from doing?
Give me persuasion with advantage.
Ooh.
I will also
It's only a 10.
I will also say while we're waiting on
Like assist her persuasion.
You see me real struggling.
As I'm like, because I've got telepathic link up, I'm just kind of like feeding her little bits of like information.
And perhaps you should listen to me because
I just start doing a Valentine impression as I'm repeating the words.
I'm going to require your Valentine impression if I'm going to allow this to take place. What is Tatiana's Valentine impression?
there is something that you know, and you will tell it to me because I say that you will.
You see he looks up at you, and one more piece of information I'm going to give you with that natural 20 on the insight. You detect no malice. Like, I mean, he's running an angle, but he is not your enemy. You know, like you detect no hostility in him, even in what he's hiding. And he just sort of like rubs his hands together for a second, and he says, well, my mom always told me never to light a large blue women. Okay.
Good advice.
It's gotten me this far. I'm an old goblin for a reason, right?
Yeah. Very specific advice on your mother's part, but it's good advice.
You know, Mama Knight had been around the block. Okay. He just sort of like motions for all of you to come in. And he says, look, I can't give you all the details, but there's thieves in the carnival.
The kind, but you said no fighting, and now you say there's thieves, and now I have, what's it called? The two demons battle inside you.
He hops up on the counter and reaches up, and it takes his full extension to reach out and put his hands on the side of your face, Tatiana. And he does have old shrivelly hands, but there's still surprising strength in them. And he says, I did say that. I did say there's no fighting allowed, but there's thieves in the carnival. And he lets go and hops back down.
You don't have to spell it out for Tatiana. She picks up on subtlety.
Something tells me you don't. Okay, he wrestles around behind the bar for a second, and he pulls out some maps of the carnival, and he puts them all down. And he also kind of pulls out 2 handfuls of tokens for games, and just sort of like pushes them out there. And he says, there you go. That's on the house. No mysterious benefactor. You got your map. You got that. It looks just like that. That is what an amazing facsimile, you know?
Nora, master of props.
Here it is.
Strikes again.
That's exactly what he gives you. And he's like, but go, relax, have a good time. Just, you know, watch your coin purse. I think that's, again, good life advice. You know, Mommy Knight told me that. And you guys have a good time, and motions for you all to be able to enter the carnival.
Mother Knight's advice: respect large blue women and protect your coin purse.
I mean, it is just good advice. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Can I just say that while everybody was kind of distracted with Tatiana and the goblin before our maps were handed out, I'm gonna stand close, shoulder to shoulder with Fen, and with message, I'll say, listen, I know that when we first got here to this realm that you didn't really like it so much, and well, when I hold these, I still feel the power of the land that we came from, and so just so you don't feel so homesick, and I'll take her hand and I'll put one of the pumpkin seeds. I hope it helps.
And I just kind of look at it like, aren't these the killer pumpkin seeds though?
Yes, they are. But
why would you give this to me?
Well, you might not use it now, and I don't want you to use it now. I mean, we had that rule about fighting, but when I held on to them, I could still feel the energy from that place. And if you do too, I thought that maybe you might not feel so homesick.
I'm not homesick though, but okay. And Fen knows what Nahara is trying to do, but she's not in the best place. So she like wraps it up and puts it in her pocket. That's sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh shoot, go on your date.
All right.
One last thing. For any of you that intend to vie for the title of Monarch, of the Witchlight Monarch, I can present you a little challenge to maybe get you off to a strong start.
Maybe you couldn't tell from my imposing presence, but I think Carnival Monarch is something I can win.
Anyone who wishes to try for it, roll a D8.
All right, because I will.
Zone of safety. You don't have to. You're welcome to try.
6.
7.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna go down the list. For the 6 for Nahara, he looks at you and he says, "The entire time you're here, you must greet all trees with reverence."
All right.
7 for Finn.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a great one for you, my drow friend. You must compliment everyone you meet.
Pass. I'm out of the running.
Your campaign was a brief but glorious one. Tatiana. 2. Tatiana, you must wear a crown of flowers and water it every hour without taking it off. And he does pull out a very pretty crown of flowers and put it on your head.
I can immediately dry myself with manipulation of air every time I am wet. But okay, I will take your challenge.
Mm-hmm. Desmond?
Also a 6.
Roll again for me.
Okay. 8.
You must declare your love for unicorns at every opportunity.
Did you know how much I loved unicorns? Like, I didn't think that was a question. I didn't think anybody was wondering that I loved unicorns.
Who among us doesn't, right?
I mean, truly.
Whomst among us doesn't?
So much
He just
already.
looks at Nika and just like, I'm sorry, I do love unicorns.
I know, it's always been a thing.
Okay,
So
Geralt.
majestic. They're so majestic. They have horns on their heads and you can ride them. It's beautiful.
This guy's off to a strong start, Blue Lady. This guy's off to a strong start. Yeah.
Oh, quick. Maybe there's a canteen behind his bench there, and I reach down and grab it.
Yep. Absolutely.
They wet little flowers. Grow.
Are there any trees around? I'll look for the nearest tree.
Is anyone else gonna try before you all head in?
I contact Shregram really quick. Is this part of it?
Part of what?
Having fun.
I was really hoping you'd be able to tell me, but they do seem enthused, I suppose.
Fine. Nate,
Same thing. Ooh, roll again for me.
3.
You must perform a short dance whenever you hear someone say your name.
Valentine, do you see this ground I'm watering?
Tatiana, do not say my name again.
What's Valentine?
Valentine, are you going to try to run for the monarch?
Why is
You're
everybody
not
saying
supposed to say
Valentine?
Valentine's name.
I don't know. Valentine's being very strange about her name.
She knows her
She
name
goes
is
running
Valentine.
away.
We don't have to
She
say
goes
Valentine.
running away.
Look, time out. I don't
Valentine,
understand.
where are
I
you
am
going?
bolting.
I don't get why
Dancing
everybody's
and
talking about
bolting.
Valentine, but I gotta say,
hear them anymore.
did you know that unicorns are the best? Just throwing it out there.
Important point of clarification, Valentine. Do you attempt to do a little dance?
Yes, I dance and run away.
You will give me a performance
So
check.
no one sees it.
Let's see how good of a job Valentine does.
I'm good at performance. Let me see. 17.
If you tell me what Valentine's fleeing dance looks like.
It's like a sachet away. There we go. It's a little sachet away. She just kind of starts from both sides and then kind of picks up as quickly as she can.
She just
gets
goes,
Valentine,
out
while
of
you're out there,
leave
if
me
you see
alone,
any
and
unicorns, let me know.
As you all enter
Oh,
into yes.
I think I'd like one as well. I mean, I never really thought about entering politics, but this monarch of the Witchlight. Yes.
Would
I'll
be a
try.
wonderful monarch.
Perfect. Roll it for me.
All right, so that's a D8.
Uh-huh.
That is a 7.
You must compliment everyone you meet.
Oh, yes, of course. And I would like to thank you, Mr. Knight, for your exemplary introduction to the carnival. I have to say, I think that you are the finest greeter that any carnival has ever had.
Oh, you're just saying all of that because it's true. You go on, you smooth talker. And he very much pushes you towards the carnival. And as you all walk under the archways in this truly magnificent spectacle unfolds before you, and the sights and sounds and smells begin to wash over you, and the infectious laughter and joy of this place kind of starts to take hold, is a great place for us to take a little break. So we will do a quick 10 and we will be right back. And it's probably going to be wrong sized and you're going to see me fix it in real time. And when we come back, I will give the names of our patrons. So don't go nowhere. Be right back. Hello and welcome back. As promised, let's give a shout out to our patrons here. Aaron Duran, Alan Zozo, Aurelia Rolf, Brad Demagod. That's sorry for butchering your name, Brad. Brian Dwyer, aka Nightsfall, Brian Kepi, Chris Lewis, the Pretzel Bear, Chris Smoot, Christopher Klindering, Christopher Zednick, Craig Savage, David Bonney, D. Nicole, Donald Scott Massey, Ducati, Flannel Fries, Forrest S. Moore, Graffumbly, Guy Vanderbrink, Ian Brooks, Josh Olin, Just Link, Callan Roar, Kyle Garrett, Matthew, hey, Kyle Garrett's a homie, Mekashiva, Merrill Harrison, Mr. Albert, Nathan Crowder, Nick Bernard, Pancrete 101, Patch, Project Wolf Bear, Reese, Rob Bacon Gollum Tremarco, Ronan Monkey, Rosie and Sean at Sip Happens, Rum Soaked Chicken, Sin 7 to Queen Bee to Nuckin' Futz, Tracer Vision, the Undisputed Baron of Disneyland, War on Reality, and Zort 1. Again, thank you all so very much. Some of you have been here with us since the very beginning. Thank you for literally making it possible to do what we do. Everybody who's recently joined us on this adventure, thank you so much. Looking at the wrong camera over there. I'm supposedly looking at you right here. The Nightmare Lands was a small token of our appreciation because again, it's so it's something we don't take it idly that you all choose to support us with all the things that you can do. So thank you so very much. And with that being said, let us re-enter the Witchlight Carnival. Lucky for me, I believe everybody has these books or the map from the book. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to kind of go around the horn, and you just tell me where you want to go, starting with our people on their first date here. Where would Uriah and Nahara like to go in the carnival, remembering what you have to do for your monarch duties?
Well, that's exactly the question that Uriah turns to Nahara and says, where would you like to begin?
I don't know. There's a big top. Mm-hmm. There's a carousel. There's so many things. Which one would you like?
Dragonfly rides? Bubble pop teapot? We're right by the big top. I suppose we could begin there.
Best place to start.
Yes.
Excellent. The joy of me having this is I have it in my hand, but of course that means I have to find it in the book, the places you all want to go.
Uriah, do tell me if you see any trees.
oh yes, there's a few here and there.
Yes, intermittently there are some.
I say...
Your Majesty!
Yes, that was a very, very good greeting for a tree. Yes, very good indeed.
It's majestic.
You did remarkably well, and I'm sure you will be the monarch of the Witchlight.
But I also hope that you get it as well.
The roof of this tent reaches towards the night sky in 3 swooping peaks topped with spinning gold stars. Painted wooden panels on the tent walls whirled with colorful motion, displaying vibrant circus performances. The sound of music and laughter drifts out through the canvas door. There is a sign out front that says free entry.
I suppose that's good. After you.
Let's go together.
Yes. And,
as you all are approaching,
you're looking lovely tonight.
Oh, thank you.
As you all are approaching, one of the barkers outside is yelling, "Big top extravaganza tonight at midnight. Prepare to be delighted. After midnight, who will be crowned our Witchlight monarch? Join us in the big top just before dawn to find out."
We need to come back here at midnight.
Oh, yes, yes, I suppose we must. And may I say, sir, that's a remarkably powerful speaking voice. Your lung capacity must be truly prodigious.
Thank you, good traveler. See your way inside. We got pixie races going on. Place your bets. You got Lightning Lenny, you got Benny the Bolt, and you got Cindy Cinders racing for be the champion of the racing circuit. And inside the big top, you all see there are pixies, tiny little people, racing chariots pulled by weasels. There are 2 weasels pulling each chariot with 2 pixies in each one. Or there's 4 weasels rather. So there's 8 pixies and 16 weasels in all, enmeshed in this dramatic race around the big top, with people cheering and screaming and going out of their minds as the pixies are kind of butting each other and the wheels are kind of grinding and everything. 2 of them have even engaged in a little sword fight there as they're racing around the big top.
Oh, good job, Mr. Bolt. Well done, Cindy. And Lightning Lenny, you're doing remarkably well.
They're so competitive. I didn't imagine for pixies.
Oh, yes. Well, what I like is the way the weasels run. They just sort of undulate. Very, very good undulation, all of you weasels.
It's like a wave.
Finn. Where is Finn going in the carnival?
Is there a place in Silversong Lake she can basically go and be in the dark and not talk to anyone?
Almost certainly. I will tell you, at the risk of being meta, the joy of the PDF is it is searchable. The joy of the book is it is browsable. Let's see here. The bubble pot tree. Mist gathers at the bank of a shimmering lake. Near its center, a mermaid lounges in a giant bowl, singing a glorious, haunting song that captivates spectators on the lakeshore. In response, the lake water coalesces into a magical sculpture that whirls around her as she performs.
Ben finds a place of shadow and darkness and curls up to just watch.
You see, as you walk up and she's singing, she does turn and she just kind of winks at you. And you hear from somewhere in the crowd someone say, "Pooh! I thought I knew that fish stunk, but this singing is awful." And you hear the crowd is kind of like, "Whoa, hey, come on." And you see she sort of like looks towards the person and just sort of like shakes her head and goes back to singing.
Can I spot this person?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, fun. We can't fight, but that doesn't mean she can't talk.
You can speak daggers, yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll take a class in Sword Bard. Oh, that is a 17. Because I get advantage, thankfully.
You do see a very small hooded person creeping through the crowd. I mean, less than 5 foot. Not gnome sized, but could be a very small person. And they have a hood and they creep through the crowd, and you turn and they look and they put their hands up, and you hear a very different voice say, "Go back to the lake! You suck! Boo!" And the crowd is looking, and you see the mermaid singing looks visibly disturbed. She's like, and her like voice breaks slightly, but she keeps going. She keeps doing it.
I go up to this hooded figure and lean over to them. That's a nice parlor trick, but I think you should find somewhere else to go.
You see they almost jump out of their skin, and when they turn and look at you, you see they're jet black and have a black beak. You've seen a were-raven before, but this is maybe half the size of that person. Finn's been around though. Give me history with advantage. You've traveled.
Oh boy. Oh, the new dice like me. That is an 18.
This is a kinku. They're little avians that speak by mimicry. They don't have their own voice. They have to use somebody else's. And it just looks at you, wide-eyed.
I just smile at it.
Do you give it a little thing?
Oh, yeah.
You see,
And I get closer. I'm like, I get closer. I'm like, you know that I can't fight you here, but I could have a little bite.
You see, the Kenku kind of like looks to the left and to the right and just kind of like gives you a squint, like, and turns and runs through the crowd and runs away.
And then I settle and give the mermaid a wink.
She finishes the song and afterwards actually comes up out of the fishbowl and down into the water and swims over towards you and just says, "Hey.
All right.
Thank you for your help back there."
You're welcome. There's no point in them ruining the show.
You know, I hate to admit it, but if that had gone on much longer, I didn't know if I was going to be able to finish.
Well, needless to say that I liked what I was hearing. And I hate a heckler.
You can call me Palasha. And she holds out a handful of webbed fingers out to you.
I take her hand and give her a very, I must have said kingly, a very gentle kiss to her hand. You may call me Fen.
A proper lady in these parts. You do me proud. And she whips her tail around and like fans out the frills at the end of it to kind of cover her mouth slightly, like,
Oh, I don't know about a proper lady, but I have some home training.
She looks around and she says, "Forgive me for intruding. It seems like you wanted to find a dark corner, but hopefully maybe not to be alone."
And Fen is thinking about his soul. She also knows conversations she's had with the souls.
She like, he's soul right here, though.
Like, whatever happens in the carnival stays in the carnival, and this isn't that carnival. And Fen just leans in. It's like, well, you do have a lovely voice.
You see, she sort of motions with her tail, and like the mist on the lake sort of like picks up a little bit, and she's like, "I thought maybe we could have a little privacy."
Well, what about your audience?
Maybe they won't be the only ones asking for an encore.
Well, it depends on what you can do with those fins.
Meanwhile, Desmond and Veronica making your way into the carnival. What are you all doing?
Desmond just looks at Nika. Ladies first.
What about the House of Illusions?
Sounds like as good of an idea as I've ever heard.
I mean, it could be fun. Something different. And I mean, quite frankly, in my current form, there's not much I can do in terms of the other things. So I'm intrigued.
Sounds good. I was thinking of a swan, so it seems way more interesting than just sitting on a lake.
Yes. Let's see. I want to see what's going on in there, and I don't know, maybe find something surprising.
To the illusions we go.
Excellent.
As you all approach, a wooden mannequin of a grinning, raven-haired young woman in witch's attire and a green flowing cape hovers inside of a glass cabinet. At the top of the cabinet, a sign reads, "Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter." A halfling couple holds hands as they approach the glass cabinet. One of the halflings is wearing butterfly face paint. As he drops to one knee and pulls a small box from his pocket, his sweetheart bursts into laughter and begins rolling on the ground. The halfling in face paints begins sobbing and darts into the nearby tent without getting his ticket punched.
Oh dear.
Somebody's gonna find him. I don't think you can get away with sneaking into these tents.
No.
Guess we're gonna see soon.
Uh-huh.
Because it wasn't us.
Both of you, both Desmond and Veronica, give me history checks. And Nika, you can give it with advantage because there's reasons why you might have been taught something as a child.
Okay, that is a 15.
15.
8.
No.
Desmond's mind is elsewhere. We've long since established history was not your strongest subject.
No.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Nika, the image doesn't necessarily mean anything to you. It's a woman dressed like a witch. Okay. All right. Apparently she's trying to kill me from beyond the grave. You know that Tasha was one of the many aliases of a very powerful archmage named Igwilv, who has worn many faces and many names over time.
Well, Tasha was certainly one of many talents and names.
Tasha?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Tasha?
The witch.
Ah, okay. That'll do it. That makes sense of the illusions.
Mm-hmm.
You see the halfling in the butterfly face paint is still on the ground, just laughing maniacally. She's
Oh, this one might need some help. Do you think we should step in?
Are you okay?
Desmond, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yay. Ooh, 20. It's a 19, but bonus.
Desmond, you just feel an almost overpowering wave of the giggles come over you. And honestly, there's not been a lot to laugh about in the last month or so. And it doesn't quite erupt out of you, but you very much get like...
You okay there?
Those giggles are contagious a little bit, so
Compose yourself.
doing what I can to keep composure.
Uh-huh. Yes, you must keep that stern exterior.
I had it taken care of, and then just
The halfling is like slapping at your leg and kind of like tugging at it, like...
like that's just like trying to push the hand off, like stop it, stop. I'm trying to keep a straight face here.
You know, it's actually good to see you smile like this, though.
I'm not used to smiling like this. It's been a while. This is new. I don't know what they are doing, but it's their fault. It's their fault. I blame them.
Sure.
I blame them. I had control of this, and then they laughed, and I had no choice. It just
Infectious laughter is a thing.
it seems that way.
Stop it.
There's a large tent is painted with a mural of shifting images that show grinning fairies diving into pools of color. The heliacal stripes of the tent's pointed canopies rotate in spirals, and the whole display seems designed to befuddle onlookers. A clown dressed in muted garb stands at the tent's entrance, blinking at you. Nika, you are 100% that your grandmother brought you here. As you think back to that moment that you had with Zabilna, the place that you were heading towards was here.
Oh, this is... I've been here with my grandmother.
Really?
Yes. Maybe
Awesome.
that's why I was drawn to it.
I remember being here with Armand. We were so small that
Yes, I was a child, and Zabilna
Yeah.
was interested in me for some reason.
I remember we snuck away from the castle, and like I was holding his hand, and we were just kind of running, and then So Velna spoke to both of us. Well, mostly me, but Armand was near. And
Curious.
we just ran. It was just fun. Just got to.
Did you say anything to you?
I can't remember the specifics, but yes. She spoke to me. I can't remember what at all, but I know she said something. Let me think about it. Out of character, he asks the DM, what did she say?
You were like, you're like, roll for exposition. Yes. You remember that she did comment on the fact that you did not have a ticket, but that she would take care of you, and she gave you cupcakes that when you ate them made you feel warm and happy and loved, like joy washed through you when you ate these cupcakes.
Immediately, as he remembers, he parlays this over to
a cupcake.
The Nika. So we didn't have tickets, but somehow she gave us a cupcake, and that cupcake was one of the best cupcakes I've ever eaten, and two, just the joy and happiness I felt is otherworldly. I don't know how to properly phrase it. It was an amazing time.
That sounds lovely.
It was. And we ran around this carnival for a good amount of time. I can't remember exactly how long, but I do remember just running through and like kind of ducking behind people's legs, playing games, like kind of popping out and just like waving at people and then running and just grabbing Armand's hand. And then they would say, "Who are these children?" And we would just be giggling and running. It was amazing. I don't know how I remember all of this, but I do.
I'm glad you have that memory.
Me too. Compared to last night, this is a much better memory of Armand.
Maybe hang on to that one for a little while.
Valentine and Tatiana, where do you all go in the carnival?
Valentine, there's so much to see here.
And
I think I need
that
to stay
food
close
is
to
probably
water
gonna
for my
be-
crown, but whatever.
Okay.
There's a river.
So, if we can multitask, I would say it would probably be smart to pick up food on the way for Tatiana. I know we want something on a stick, right?
I think there's feasting grounds over there.
But would you mind terribly if we got it on the way to the lost property booth?
What is the lost property you are interested in?
Well, we were told by the person with the tickets that there are thieves here, and that all of us have been here at some point. Maybe one of us dropped something or lost something that, other than just our memories.
That is a very good idea, Valentine. It's like you are some kind of genius. These plans you come up with.
Thank you, Tatiana. And I'll just point to kind of the nearest, like, heaviest, greasiest, and like most out there food looking booth.
Tatiana, this is kind of the most incredible thing you've ever seen in your life. There are all manner of roast beast. There are legs of some kind of bird as big as your head. There are strips of salted pork that have been dipped in chocolate. There are huge steaming steins of every manner of liquid that you can think of. It's just, honestly, it's a dream come true, Tatiana.
It is, but also when I look upon these booths and I think of how I now have beast speak, I realize my friends are birds. Anyway, I can't dwell too much on that. I'm going to get in line for all of them at once, or at least 2 lines, because I will be so big I will straddle the lines.
I'll get in another line for Tatiana.
Get 2 of everything. I'll eat yours if you don't.
As long as they died warriors' deaths, right? You all are able to gather literal armloads of just food and candy and toffee and confections in Valentine. some of these scents seem familiar to you. There are these cupcakes in particular that have peppermint sprinkles on them. And as we know, scent is the sense strongest tied to memory. You just remember those. And a very kind and matronly looking dwarf is there at the stall and says, are you trying to decide if you want to have one of my cupcakes?
It's for a friend. I just they smell delightful.
I see the large blue loss over there. She's already consuming her fill. What about you, girl? And she does reach out and hand you one of these peppermint cupcakes.
I take one, and I assume I've already got like kind of an armful of other food that I've gotten for Tatiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take it, and I'll just kind of like try a little bit of the frosting.
Magnificent, Valentine. You know, your palate has faded over time. But as you touch this icing, it is almost like your tongue springs back to life again.
What are these?
That's a family recipe. I've made them for a while, and me ma before me and her ma before her.
Huh. Also, do you know any hungry halflings?
They stay hungry long after they come here, I think. Do you have any more information?
I don't, unfortunately.
Well, give me persuasion, Valentine.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nat 20. Whew. The dice have been far too nice to me today.
It's supposed to be a happy occasion. The dice knew it.
They know it.
She looks at you and she says,
and I'm not using any magic to persuade on this woman. She is far too nice.
You see, she hops down from the bench and you hear a little door open and she comes out from behind it. And as a dwarf, she's slightly smaller than you, but twice as wide. She's just a stocky, grandmotherly, just wonderful person. And she's got a dress and an apron that is just covered in flour and peppermint bits and things like that. And she says, I'll remember you. You were here when you were knee-high to a grasshopper, you were.
Yeah, yes, I was, but I am, unfortunately, I don't remember.
Would you mind if I have a look at you? It's so rare that I get to see the wee ones again all grown up.
Sure.
And she comes, and when she gets very close to you, she smells wonderful. She smells like these cupcakes. She smells like springtime and warmth and happiness, and everything in you wants to fight back against this Valentine, but there's just something about her presence that is just soothing. And she says, oh, my dear, it's not been an easy go of things for you, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Well, I will nae pry into your business, and apparently you've done fine if you made your way back here. I didn't know this hungry halfling, but I will say, if you would find such a person anywhere, you may want to check the feasting orchard. All manner of fruits and delightfulness that can grow on trees. Here is more, but the bacon and grilling and all the things your friend is consumed. That girl's got quite a gullet on her. She could out-eat a dwarf. Did you know that?
She needs it for her strength. She's very strong.
Clearly, it's working. She's a specimen, she is. I looked like that once back in my adventuring days. You squeezed me on her. I still got it in here. I
will give a little squeeze. You certainly do.
It's like titanium. I mean, she's got pythons. Yeah. I was like, Well, I tell you what, when you're done with this place, I'll pack you up some cupcakes to go. Take a little piece of it with you, eh?
That's incredibly kind. Thank you.
Well, I would say kindness makes the world go round, but I think we both know that is nay the case, but perhaps it should be, eh?
Perhaps. Thank you.
Feasting Orchard. Try your luck there.
And I'll just kind of keep taking little bits of the cupcake, and I'll carry the rest of the food to Tatiana.
And she does make her way back inside. Meanwhile, Brother Uriah and Nahara, inside the big top, a troop of 8 clowns are launching themselves from a magic cannon, just shooting across the big top and managing to land in another cannon and then shooting back to the other side of the big top.
Oh, that's remarkable. That's utterly remarkable. Impressive physical dexterity, all of you.
How are they landing into another cannon?
Oh, yes. Well, they must also be excellent mathematicians as well to have calculated their trajectory so well. Well done. And all of you spectators, excellent audiencing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Bravo!
Yes.
Go ahead.
I wonder, it would be so easy to stay here for the entire evening. I'm sure each show is more impressive than the last, each act, but would you like to go somewhere else?
I would, because we're going to come back here at midnight, right?
Yes. I spotted something on the map that it intrigued me. The mystery mine.
Sounds mysterious. What do you
Yes.
suppose is in there?
Well, it's probably a mystery of some sort.
Shall we go figure out this mystery?
Yes, perhaps it's an enigma or a riddle of some kind. Perhaps
Or a riddle wrapped in an enigma.
Oh, yes. They probably deep fry that and serve it to you.
Yeah, on a stick.
Yes. Yes. To the mystery mine, then.
To the mystery mine, yes. Can I just... You seem a little off.
I think I'm happy. I think I'm
That's
happy. Yes. It's, I've read about this. It's very enjoyable.
Well, you wear it well.
Thank you.
It is an unusual sensation, Uriah, but it is nice.
All right, then to the mystery mine, yes?
Yes.
Propelled
you there.
by, as you all run across, greeting each tree. And how do you greet the trees as you see them?
Your Majesty.
And of course, to every person we run across, Uriah delivers fairly elaborate compliments on their dress or on what they're doing. So
when you all arrive at the mystery mine, propelled by magic, mine carts laden with fairgoers trundle into an opening carved like a dragon's mouth. The carts reappear moments later on the far side of the attraction, with the passengers expressing a mixture of bewilderment, fear, and excitement. Near the entrance, a male dwarf dressed as a wizard shouts, "Unlock the mysteries of your mind in the mystery mine!" He has bushy eyebrows, wears a pointy hat, and holds a large clockwork contraption shaped like a giant eye.
Did you say these are mine carts going into a dragon's mouth?
I did.
This seems very familiar. This seems, yes, this really, for some reason, really brings my childhood back. This is...
This seems oddly familiar from times long past. Yes.
Yes, it's almost like I experience this on a weekly basis every Saturday morning. Yes, it's a ride of some sort, I suppose. Excuse me, sir, might I say that is quite an impressive chapeau and an even more impressive apparatus, doohickey. I'm not quite sure what it is.
It is... My magic power is the Fixo the Magnificent, and me all see an eye. And he holds up this clockwork eye contraption.
Oh, yes, very impressive indeed, sir.
Very.
Might I say, you look resplendent this evening.
Resplendent. Wow.
Important point of clarification. Brother Uriah, when he holds up the eye, do you look into the eye?
Yes, I suppose so.
And Nahara, if when he holds up the eye, do you look into the eye?
Yes, I would be curious enough to do so.
All right. I'm going to ask you both a separate question here. All right. I'm going to send that.
Is that showing up at our chat?
Secret messages?
Should be secret messages. Secret messages. There we go. And boom. And boom. While you guys are giving me that, Finn.
Yes.
You are sitting by the pond side, laughing and flirting with Palasha. And she just says, oh, you know, I have to thank you. This is the first time that I've really been able to enjoy someone else's company since my engagement was broken off.
Your engagement?
Yes. I came here for a man. I thought we would be married at some point, but he seems to have forgotten all about me, so I'm forgetting about him.
Well, I mean, I guess absence doesn't make the heart go fonder in this case.
No, it doesn't. Tell me, and I don't mean to be too forward here, is there anyone who has a claim on your affections?
Yes, but we do have an arrangement, and I've learned how to share.
Wonderful. You, wouldn't mind helping me, get over someone by getting under someone else, would you?
No, as long as you don't drown me.
I know mouth to mouth. And she very much leans in for a kiss, Finn. Do you allow
And
it?
I do, making sure to pull my fangs in a little bit.
Excellent. Finn, give me perception with advantage.
Oh, it worries me when you say that. I've known you too long, B-Dave.
We all know what this is, even on a happy time.
Uh-huh. Luckily for you, it is a dirty 20.
As she falls into your arms, and she's fairly bigger than you. I mean, end to end, she's almost 10 feet long.
I mean, she's a mer something.
But you do feel her body relax. You feel the tension going out of her. I mean, this is not the first time you've had an encounter with someone. You know the signs. But out of the corner of your eye, on the other side of the lake, you see that Kinku again, watching, and it looks angry. And just sort of pulls its hood up and like stalks away.
So this is a silly question. Does she have ears or like gills or like ear holes?
If you have the book handy, her picture's on page 43. She does have, the art's super cool with all of this stuff, honestly. She does have
there. I got a book.
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
She looks incredible. For those of you that don't have it, she's sort of y'all are all gonna knock my my descriptions now. But she's sort of an aquamarine color in her frill with purplish frills that come off of her head. And she is adorned in yellow jewelry and finery. She's kind of reflective there, but yeah, she looks sort of like that. Yeah. The lights are being uncooperative, unfortunately, Nika. But yes, she does have ears. Human-like ears.
I lean in and whisper, your heckler seems to not be happy we're making an acquaintance.
Good. What did they look like, by the way? Every time I see them, they look different.
Like a kinku.
A kinku?
Yeah.
Normally I'd seen halflings and dwarves and small humans, but never a kinku. Well, that makes sense.
What does?
I mean, surely that many people couldn't have such terrible taste as to not like my singing, but one kinku could have 100 voices.
Tell me, was this ex of yours cursed at all?
She looks at you for a second and she's like, that's an odd question. He did change a lot, maybe?
I just wonder if that is perhaps your ex. Otherwise, why would a random kinku care if we get to know each other a bit better?
She just sort of laces her fingers in yours as far as they can before you reach the webbing. And she says, I don't wish to sully our evening with talking about such things, but it may be some connection. Would you by chance be willing to help me draw this kinku out? Maybe I could get some answers.
Yes, but after.
After. And she leans back in again. Meanwhile, Desmond and Nika entering into the Hall of Mirrors. Or of Illusions, rather. Wait, what's the name of this thing? I'm saying I got too many.
Hall of Illusions.
All illusions.
Hall of Illusions. I was about to say.
You had it.
It's true. Too many things. As you all approach, you all see a clown that looks very pale, who is on page 39, since we're using reference art. And as you walk up, it just says, in very dramatically bows in front of you, Nika, and holds out a hand like he wants to kiss your hand.
I'm sorry, but it's not going to take. See?
He reaches out for your hand, and when it goes through, it goes. And you notice after a couple of seconds, bright ribbons start coming out, like he's pulling them out. He's like,
That's a lovely illusion. The only thing that could make that better is if unicorns came out when he did that. That would be fantastic. Little tiny unicorns, that'd be great.
Unicorns and ribbons, absolutely.
Fantastic work, sir. Fantastic. He just leans to Nika's like, he's still not a unicorn, though. He's awesome.
No.
It's fantastic, but he's like, he's still not a unicorn, though. He's so much better with unicorns.
He just sort of like nods slightly, and he like looks back for a second, and he goes,
Doesn't work for us either. I wish it did.
No.
Although he does not make a single sound when he laughs. His shoulders shake and his mouth opens like he's laughing, but no noise comes out at all. And just goes like, puts a hand on on your shoulder, Desmond, and is like,
I know. She's better than the unicorn. I know. Good work. Good attempt. That's a fantastic attempt. Mm-hmm.
His heart
Don't mean
is
to break
broken?
your heart. Sorry.
Oh.
Tell you what, I will do everything I can to find a unicorn costume here at this carnival and bring it back to you so that you can do what you're doing and be a unicorn. And then you can just be the absolute best thing at this carnival. And we all win in that case. I know, right? They are amazing.
He just like steps to the side and motions for the Hall of Illusions for you guys to go in.
Thank you.
Both of you give me a perception check as you get closer.
Okay, that's a 14.
And it's a 20.
Desmond, you hear inside. I love her so much and she laughed at me. Coming from inside the Hall of Mirrors.
Oh,
Immediately he just looks at Nika and just, do you hear the
I hear it. I think it has a lot to do with our little giggling friend outside.
yeah.
Speaking of broken hearts.
Well, it's pretty funny.
No, don't. Desmond, if we go and speak to
Composure.
this poor...
I have composed myself.
at
I'm
this
sorry.
point. Good. Think of the unicorns. Think of the majestic unicorns.
That's just going to make me giggle harder. So just...
Okay, then don't think of the unicorns. But maybe we should...
Majestic, fully armored, knighted unicorns. That's the right thought here. Okay. I'm
This is
good.
true.
They're regal.
Let's
Yes.
maybe see if we can help out the poor fellow.
As you all make it through this Hall of Mirrors, all around you, you see different versions of yourself. Sometimes they're tall, some are skinny, some are optical illusions, but you literally see yourself as children. You see yourself like you are older. Desmond has a long, wizened beard, and Veronica has beautiful silver hair braided down her shoulders. You see almost every possible version of yourself as you're passing through here until you round the corner and you see this halfling standing with his back to you. But in the mirror, you don't see him. You see what looks like a blue-skinned little girl with a half mask like a pig over her face, where his reflection should be. Her picture is on page 30, if you would like.
What's wild is that I literally just opened to page 30.
I know, it's kind of terrible, honestly.
Nice.
Absolute perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Pro. That's the reflection you see standing in front of him.
I just lean in and just, I hear you crying and I'm sorry, but I notice you don't match your reflection. See a little girl in the mirror with a pig mask, but I see you here. I know it's a Hall of Illusions, but reasons.
He turns and looks at you and he says, she asked me if I had any regrets. She said she fixed it. And he turns and he steps through the mirror. And the ring he was holding hits the floor. And on the other side of the mirror, you see him standing next to her. And she just reaches out and takes his hand and looks at you and goes. And they turn and walk away into the mirror.
I just look at Nika. That was awesome. That was awesome.
You might want to pick up that ring, though.
What if there's a unicorn on it? And he just bends down to pick it up.
You could put it on the unicorn's horn.
True. Very true.
Desmond, the ring is a little gold ring with a diamond carved like a tiny little unicorn on the tip of it. And, and it is inscribed, to Ween Sundapple, my one true love.
And Desmond sees that, and he's just like, but Nika, though, like, yeah, it's just somebody's one true love, but it's a unicorn diamond. Come on, look at it. And he just holds it up and it's like, it's so awesome.
It is very cool, yes, but maybe we might appreciate it.
If we give it back to Ween, I know. But it's still a unicorn, though. So obviously,
I know unicorns are wonderful. They are fantastic. They are majestic. They are magical, especially in armor.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, Valentine and Tatiana, do you still intend to go to the lost property after you have acquired all of these things?
I'm biting into a squirrel on a stick after I've given up my quibbles about it. And I see Valentine walk up licking a cupcake. You're eating!
Yeah, it's weirdly fantastic. Most food at this point, after all this time, is just. But this is great.
I'm telling you, there are so many things that taste like cupcakes. Have you had a pumpkin cupcake?
Well, I mean, at some point, probably, but I don't remember what it would taste like. I break off a little piece of the cupcake I'm eating and be like, but this one.
Oh, I grab the piece and pause momentarily, but then that feels wrong, so I stuff it in my mouth.
Tatiana, it's great. It feels like warmth and happiness. And you feel, Tatiana, around the Yuletime celebrations when families must get together and celebrate. You yourself, unfortunately, never experienced such a thing, but you saw on occasion when whole families would come to the fighting pits, and they all seemed so happy and joyous to be together and wore terrible matching tunics and things of that nature. That feeling washes through you as you're chewing this.
It feels like something I've never experienced. And she did it. The crumbs, normally she would lick off her fingers, but she brushes them onto the ground. I think
sorry.
it's a happy feeling, right? For most people.
Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but I think I had it here when the pixie brought me. I was told, looking for the hungry halfling, that we should go to insert name of place I totally remember here.
The Feasting Orchard.
The Feasting Orchard.
I don't know if I can. I want to go to the feasting. Oh!
I will say you would pass lost property on the way to the Feasting Orchard if you still intended to stop.
I haven't watered my crown in some time, and I take a passing gnome's mug out of their hand and dump it on my head. Ale is probably just as good.
Probably.
He didn't specify. Nicholas did not specify what you had to water the flowers with, Tatiana.
There's water in there, I think.
You all are heading that way. Outside the lost property wagon is a large feline creature with midnight blue fur. It has a pair of tentacles extending from its shoulders and wears fake butterfly wings. Hanging from its collar is a small wooden keg. The creature roughhouses with two young boys, and one boy squeals, "Again, Durla, again!" while the other one hangs on to the creature's neck. This, honestly, is one of the coolest things I have ever seen in a D&D book. It is on page 41. It is so incredible. I didn't know that I needed a fancy displacer beast with butterfly wings. But I do.
That's the cuddliest displacer beast there's ever been. I love it.
Yes. And it is there with these two children.
I look to Valentine like, can I?
Carefully, of course.
I run over and just like slide on the ground, run and slide like a baseball player into lying right next to this, panther with butterfly wings looking displacer beast. And I say, in beast speak, hello, you look very fluffy. May I touch your fur?
I'll also use telepathic link to just go, a reminder that the people with butterfly wings, I believe, work here.
It turns and looks at you, and this thing is probably as big as you are, Tatiana, and might weigh, as a cat, it might weigh 800 pounds. It's with all 6 pairs of its legs here. It's just kind of idly playing with 2 of the children, and looks at you and says, I respect you speaking my tongue, but I actually speak common as well. Tatiana, what little you know, displacer beasts do not talk.
You are very special. Have you been in the carnival for long?
I've been here for many years, yes. I trust you are new. Yes?
It is my first time. Well, that I remember. Is that normal?
She extends like a cat would and stretches slightly and stands up. And you realize her head is as high as yours, fully extended, Tatiana. And she says, I am Diragran. I watch over the lost things. And she looks down at the 2 kids that are kind of playing around her feet now, playing hide and seek. As she just kind of like oddly lifts one paw at a time here, and they run and hide behind the next one. I look after all the lost things.
Are these children lost?
Temporarily displaced. Yes. Valentine.
You don't take things, though? You just find them?
I do not take things. And right when she says that, the older little boy that is here picks up a mirrored ball from the lost property wagon and just picks it up. And you see Dear Legrand, her bares her fangs for a second, and one of the tentacles whips out like lightning, like, wow, and grabs this gold sphere out of the kid's hand and pulls it back. And
I make a telepathic link with the child.
And he just, oh, that was awesome! You see that? It's a 6-legged cat with tentacles! Oh my god! And immediately goes to try and grab something else out of the wagon.
You're okay with this?
She looks down and she says, this one thing is important to me. The rest I have no interest in.
Dear Legrand, this is Valentine. Valentine, dear Legrand.
I dance.
She looks at you while you do this for a second, and she says, ah, you wish to be monarch, yes. Excellent festive attitude, Valentine.
I've never seen you so cheerful and joyful, Valentine.
I'm having a terrible time.
She looks down in Valentine, give me insight. There's a second little girl in a large pink fluffy dress is like pulling at some of the chains and beating on Dearla's side here, and you know, she just kind of doesn't really pay much attention. You know, the kid kind of pulls her tail and she moves it just slightly, but you can see she's being very gentle with this child, as it is like tormenting her actively. You have not seen this creature for very long, and you have never seen one like it before, Valentine. But one thing you know is how to read people. Apparently read sentience of all kinds here. Whatever that ball means to her is significant. She still has it kind of wrapped up in one of her tentacles and is like essentially doing keep away now, which has it about 10 feet in the air when she raises her tentacle
and
upward.
What, you said it's like a gold sphere? Like a mirrored kind of...
It is a mirrored ball.
Does it look like anything I've ever seen before?
No, And it doesn't even look particularly valuable. I mean, it looks interesting, but there's this box, as you just sort of like idly look at it, there's all manner of things. There's mostly stuff that you probably drop and not realize you dropped. Like, I mean, there's some very nice brushes, combs, hand mirrors, you know, a dagger in an ornate scabbard. You know,
I investigate the dagger.
Mini teddy bears, you know, things of that nature. And this fits right in with all of that. But that's this one thing, which she did tell you is important to me. She very much is now trying to keep away from these kids.
The telepathic link I made with the little boy, I just go, how long have you been here?
I don't know. My mommy said she was going to go for food, and I haven't seen her since, and I'm so hungry.
I pull out the rest of the cupcake that I haven't finished yet and just kind of sneak it to the little boy.
He pounces on you and puts it in his mouth so fast he gets some of your fingers in it, Valentine. He doesn't hurt you. He's just very greedy.
So you don't know how long it's been?
They don't exactly have clocks here. It's just, you're just at the carnival. You have a good time.
Has the sun come down and back up?
Durla, I don't. And you see the Displacer Beast does just sort of like shake a little bit, and she says, "It has been a number of hours."
Telepathic.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
a telepathic link. Fight me, Displacer Beast. Let's go.
No, she doesn't. Well, no, she doesn't respond at all. When he says, he's like, I don't know. I just been playing with Durla.
Darla?
Durla Gron. Her. The cat.
Oh.
Six-legged tentacle cat. Did you? She's a six-legged tentacle cat.
And you haven't been hurt?
No. I
Fine.
mean, I feel like maybe she kind of wanted to when I grabbed that mirrored ball. And I'm not going to lie to you, since you're apparently an angel that talks inside my mind. Are you my conscience?
Yes.
I kind of want to take the ball again the first chance I get.
I use my mage hand to grab the ball.
Do I notice that she's doing this?
I mean, mage hand just happens. I'd say it you probably have about a fraction of a second, because the mage hand appears near her and has to travel up, the roughly 10 feet. So you don't have long, but a hand appears and is going up towards the ball.
I rolled a 9. I'm really entranced by dagger.
Is you... Hold on a second here. As the mage hand reaches up and grabs a hold of the ball that is still wrapped in the tentacle, she turns and she looks at you, Valentine, and turns her whole body towards you and just says, I would rather you not. It was very precious to my cub.
Pardon. I'll just take the mage hand away.
Yeah.
Who is your cub?
She doesn't growl. She doesn't bare her fangs at you. She's just like, please don't. She looks at you, Tatiana, and she says, my cub's name was Star.
Just a very nice name. Why do
She
you
was
use
a
past tense?
very nice cub.
Did your cub die like a valiant warrior?
Give me persuasion with advantage, Tatiana.
Oh. 19.
My cub was lost here at the carnival. I have not seen her in some time, and this is all I have to remember her by.
That is so sad. If you lost your cub, And you, of all people, have not found her. It does not look good. I mean, oh, sorry. Did I do that thing, Valentine, where I said too much? Right.
Perhaps yes. And I appreciate your pity. I hope sometime she will either be returned to me or I will at least find out what happened to her.
We could try and find out. Maybe.
You see, she recoils slightly and she says, "You strangers would help me. Why? And what do you wish for in return?"
Excellent question.
Oh, I did that thing again. Well, I'm just here for one day, so I do not know what I can do in a day at the carnival, but, well, I don't know, something about you is very entrancing. I'm drawn to you. And, well, it's so sad that you have not found Star.
We're actually looking for someone as well.
All right, that's a good thing to find in exchange.
Who?
We have our suspicions as to where they might be, but we are looking for someone described as a hungry halfling.
I am prepared to assist you, but what is your name? And she leans down real close to you, Valentine.
Valentine.
Yes, she said it out loud. Yes, that is. She grooves with you slightly while you're doing this, and you hear the rumble of this cat sort of echo. And she says, "I will tell you all something, but it must not be spoken aloud."
Okay, you can say. Obviously, we keep our mouth shut.
I'll just be directly transmitting it to Tatiana. I'll open it up like a three-way call.
When you do this, she says, I suspected such a thing was so. That young boy Vero never stops talking, so he must have been talking in his mind. Wonderful. I will tell you two things. It is a troubling time in the Witchlight Carnival. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are on edge about something that I do not know. I do not recommend you confront them directly, but perhaps you could sneak into the staff area behind the big top and spy on them. The hungry halfling you seek has a name. She is Eliwick Tumblestrum. You will locate her in the feasting orchards. But if anyone asks you how you came upon this information, it was not me. And the tentacle comes down with the ball and hands it to you, Tatiana. I do not have much hope that you will locate my cub, but the fact that you were even willing to try has warmed my heart.
Dear La, I will search for you. I am honored you entrust me with this ball.
And here, having the first pleasant evening in memory, but now confronted with an odd mystery at the center of all of this merriment, is a good place for us to stop, because earlier tonight, although she doesn't quite realize it now, Finn was met with a very unusual visitor. Finn, your time in the Feywild has been troubling. This place does not speak to your drow heart. These tall trees and open skies bring you no peace. But it is clear that the solution that you need is here, that what Isolde needs is here, that there is a way for you to help her, to save her, if you can just figure it out. And as you lay your head down with these thoughts weighing heavily on your mind, and visions of times that you were with Isolde playing around, you feel a strange and unusual presence inside your very mind.
Who's there?
I greet thee, Fen.
Aslan.
Indeed. You are very far. It is quite taxing to reach you, even for one of my resources.
Well, I hope you have an important reason to go to all this trouble.
Indeed, I do. When last we spoke, you mentioned a boon you granted me. And it is true. I am somewhat in your debt for your rescue of Uriah so many years ago.
And what do you offer to settle that debt between us?
My assistance. You find yourself at a crossroads, do you not?
Yes.
You seek to help your lover, a noble endeavor.
Yes.
I might be of assistance.
What's the cost?
Cost?
Everything has a price.
Indeed. But as you yourself have pointed out, I am somewhat in your debt. This would merely be a clearing of the balance.
I'm intrigued.
Moreover, you helping Isolde could help me.
There it is.
I will not insult you by claiming that I act without self-interest. We both know this to be true.
No, I'd expect nothing less of you.
Good. Then we know where we stand.
If I take your offer, yes.
It is freely given. And, of course, you are free to refuse. But one does not ask the return of a boon from Aslan Rex lightly. If you choose not to accept my help, well, that's no concern of mine.
I'm sure you know that I would do a lot for Isolde.
Indeed.
Even make a deal with you.
Will you help her? Will you allow me to help you?
Yes.
Then you accept my offer.
If the offer is to take out the collar for her, or make it so she does that herself and breaks her tie to the carnival, then yes.
Her freedom would suit my plans. Anything to stymie our jailers. And you, then, you have proved pragmatic. You have proved yourself loyal to Isolde.
and intelligent enough to see when an ally should be made. I commend you.
It's good to know that you can see my pragmatism, but you must also realize what I'll do if you betray me.
Betray
I don't enter into this deal lightly, good King Rex.
Perish the thought. Aslan Rex is a being of his word. Without order, without adherence to law, there is only chaos and entropy.
And we have a deal.
Very good. My assistance shall be yours when you call upon it. I shall lend you the strength you need, Fen.
I look forward to our business and letting a soul finally be free.
Well said.
And as his face dissipates from your vision, Finn, you can't help but think of that moment that you saw Isolde on the ground, clutching her brother's body, crying and swearing revenge. But this time, it feels different knowing that you may be able to help deliver your dearest love the thing that she wants most. And that is a good place for us to stop.